Many people in my life have told me I am wrong for liking Mark Edward Fischbach. I don't think so. The following story is true. This is how I came to love Mark, and not one piece of it is over-exaggerated. I wish it were, but it's not. I live with the scars of my actions because of me, but I live because of Mark. Darkness. Darkness engulfs us all. Everywhere I turn to look, there's nothing but the ever-present black smog which wraps around me, obscuring any and all life, reality or purpose, any happiness, any love. Then he came. When I was wandering through my despair, he emerged as a small glimmer of light, barely noticeable. My mind knew better than to approach, but my heart overrid the concern. Curiosity rose as I grew ever nearer to this strange light. I reached out, my fingertips barely brushing the screen as he spoke. His voice was captivating, and I was enthralled. I stared into the brown eyes on the screen as he spoke, telling me how much he appreciated me, how much I meant to him. He spoke to everyone watching, but I felt as if it were for me, and me only. The warmth radiated through my cold, pale hand into my body. When I drew back from the screen, bloody fingerprints remained. I stared blankly down at my arms, flowing freely with the deep red blood from the cuts I had just made. The knife sat next to the mouse on my computer, coated in drying blood, dripping and leaving dark stains on the beige carpet. I shake my head, but the drug-induced fog doesn't leave. I stand and stumble to the doorframe. Gripping it, I pull myself upright, my damp palm leaving a red streak running down the wood. Stepping out into the hallway, I braced against the walls and made my way to the bathroom. I locked the door. Empty pill bottles littered the floor. Dozens. The caps were thrown about the room, the red bottles stained. I placed a hand on my stomach and felt the taut skin stretching from the massive amount of drugs inside. Somewhere in the back of my mind, panic set in, but the fog overcame it. I stepped up to the mirror. My hand flew to my mouth as I stared in shock at my own reflection, or what was left of it. I thought I was dead. Blood ran from the corner of my mouth and covered my shredded arms and stomach. Deep, dark circles stamped under my eyes, shrunk in an icy blue, staring back with an expression of self-loathing. My muscles were tight and stringy, and my cheeks and stomach were sunken in. I reached down and touched my stomach. I could feel my ribs sharply protruding and cutting into my organs. I winced. I returned my gaze up to my face, lips pulled tightly over a thin, gaunt, yellowed skin from starvation and dehydration. How long has it been since I ate? I don't remember. I gazed down at myself, and every piece of my body looked shriveled, dried out, dead. A severe pain shoots through my body, and I collapse to the floor. I lay there, shivering on the tile, as what I assume my last thoughts go through my mind. When did I become this way? When did I decide I wanted to die? What happened to me? I feel like I'm crying, and I reach to wipe my eyes, but there's nothing there. There's no liquid left to cry. Nothing but blood is left, and not much of that, thanks to the kitchen knife. I stare at my arm on the floor. It has cuts, old and new, lining up and down its length. Burns are present as well, and I shudder to remember how I felt when I cut and burnt myself. Another pain racks my body, and I think that it is the end. So this is how I die. Alone. uncared for by myself on the bathroom floor, naked and bleeding, surrounded by pill bottles. But who'd notice that I'm gone? No one. I close my eyes as the black starts to cover me again when a voice comes into the back of my mind. Hello, everybody! The voice is loud enough that my body curls tighter, trying to avoid the people in my head. Go away. But the voice doesn't go away. My name is Markiplier. I get angry and open my eyes. Who dares to disturb my dying? Why can't I just go in peace? It's probably just the computer. I said go away. The voice, it just doesn't go away though. Slendy. By this time, I lose my patience. I will turn the damn thing off. I don't want to hear anybody. I yank myself up by using the counter and drag myself back to my room, slamming the door open. As I stand there wobbling for a few seconds in shock, I violently fall and hit my knees. The computer isn't on. I start to tremble, slowly, then faster and more violently. I fall over onto my side and stare at the screen as my body convulses. It's totally black. No power, no noise. He was in my head. I close my eyes and wait for the shaking to subside. After about 20 minutes, it does, and I lay on the floor exhausted and heaving dry sobs. Mark's voice in my mind says softly, I will see you in the next video. I shake my head. Why? What do you want? Why me? I'm no one special. You are so special and powerful. My arms begin to itch as the blood clots and dries on my skin. Confusion rises in my mind. Why aren't I dead? Did I not take enough pills? Not cut deep enough? Shouldn't I have died by now? It's been hours. Hours. Then I pass out. In my dream, I feel someone scoop me up and hold me tightly against their chest. They smell so good. They're carrying me somewhere, but I don't know where, and I don't care. He saved me, didn't he? Or am I dead and he's my heaven? It doesn't make sense. I open my eyes and look up at him. Mark smiles down at me, his eyes warm and compassionate, his hair a mess. He sets me down and takes one of my arms. A sleeve is draped over it, red plaid, and I recognize the shirt he was wearing in the video. He takes it and puts it on me. It's as big as a nightgown. It falls around my hips. I look up at him and he doesn't have a shirt. He gave me his shirt. Tears stream down my face and I sniffle. Why? Why would you care enough to give me your clothes? He looks up at me, concerned. Are you okay? Are you in pain? I cry harder, and he leans forward and wraps his arms around me. I nuzzle into his shoulder and sob uncontrollably. This isn't right. How is he here? How can I be crying? I'm dehydrated. This isn't possible. Shh. It's okay, he whispers as I cry into his shoulder. He's so warm. I feel so safe wrapped in his arms, like any danger would be destroyed from me with just a wave of his hand. But I'm one in millions. Why would he notice me? This really isn't possible. Or is it? Mark pulls back and takes my hand. He braces on his chest and begins wrapping my torn skin with bandages. I watch his hands carefully unfold the cloth around my thin arm and tie it securely. He looks up to make sure I'm paying attention, then takes my other arm and does the same. That's better. Finishing, he takes a white washcloth from a bucket full of water next to him and wrings it out. He then folds it in quarters and takes my chin in his hand. He wipes my mouth, then my cheeks. I close my eyes as he wipes them, then open them to see him smiling. That's better. I knew you were in there somewhere. He moves his fingers through my hair, and I lean my forehead against his chest. I just inhale his scent as he strokes my hair repeatedly, murmuring softly and soothingly. Suddenly, he leans away abruptly. He takes my face in his hands and he rubs my cheeks with his thumbs. Looking me straight in the eyes, he says, "You have beautiful eyes and a beautiful heart. Don't let anyone tell you different." With that, he leans forward and kisses me on the forehead, whispering into my hair, "I will see you." Then I woke up. Sunlight was pouring through my cracked window and the air was warm. I felt an overwhelming sense of loss, and as I stared up at the ceiling, I sniffled. Then I felt a tear roll down my cheek. A single tear. The only way to express my pain when all else could not. Sunlight was pouring through my cracked window, and the air was warm. After a while on the floor, I struggled into a sitting position and examined my arms. They had not stopped bleeding, and they hurt badly. I ignored the pain like many times before, and I looked down at myself. I looked normal. Not shriveled or sunken in, but normal. Skinny, pale. But not dead yet. Not yet. With that, I rose from the floor and struggled to get to the bathroom. I nudged bottles out of the way and lowered myself onto the toilet. Sitting for a moment, I tried to catch my breath, and then I noticed something. A single bottle of pills, unopened, lying on the floor, taunting me with the promise of death, of an end to the pain. My mind drifted away to the yelling, the fighting, the beating, the rape. How worthless I am, how unclean. You have a beautiful heart. I cringed and turned away from the pills. Then I looked back, then away again. My mind fought internally with the thoughts of despair combating Mark. They pushed me towards the bottle and he held me tightly and said I was beautiful. I felt torn between wanting to die, wanting to give up so badly, and needing to feel him again. I stood slowly, walked towards the bottle, and I picked it up. I unscrewed the cap and dumped the pills into my palm. Then I walked over to the toilet again, and I dumped them into it. I pulled the handle on the toilet and watched dazed as the pills flushed away, out of my reach, where they couldn't hurt me. I must have stood there gaping at the toilet for an hour like an idiot. I couldn't believe what I'd just done. I had just chosen life over death for the first time. Why? The answer almost immediately came to me. I did it for him. He told me I was beautiful and cleaned me up and made me feel better. He didn't treat me like dirt under his feet or like his bitch. Even if it was only a dream, even if it was only a hallucination. Just the thought of him made me feel safe. I had to repay him somehow, and that somehow was by not dying alone on a floor surrounded by my own blood. I sat back down on the toilet and picked up a dirty washcloth, running it under the water. I tentatively wiped my arm. It hurt so much worse than when Mark had done it, but I pushed through it and cleaned both of my arms and my stomach. I dried them with toilet paper, but I didn't have any bandages, so I just gave up on them. Then I turned my attention to the mess. I used the washcloth to tie my hair up and picked up the bottles slowly, carefully. Pain sheared through my body at every step, as well as whenever I bent over to get another bottle. Soon I had them all in the garbage, and I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked pale and yellowed still. I opened my eyes, and they were the same icy blue as always. You have beautiful eyes. At the memory of those words, for the first time in nearly a decade, I genuinely smiled. I went back to my room, still smiling with a couple towels, and placed them over the blood on the floor. I picked up the knife and set it aside without a second thought. Then I found a shirt and pulled it over my head, as well as a pair of my underwear to put on. With that, I went into the kitchen and got myself a glass of water. I hesitated before lifting the glass to my lips and taking a sip. I threw up. Blood spurted out of my mouth, and I gagged on the water. It had been so long since I had sustenance that my body couldn't accept it. I have to. For him. It took me 4 more tries before I could keep a sip of water down. Then 2 sips. Then 5. I forced myself to drink water, and over the course of the next 3 hours I managed to eat a single slice of stale bread. The whole time I was thinking of Mark, this man I'd never met, and how for some reason beyond all comprehension my mind had singled this man to remember. But I did know one thing for sure. He saved me. During the next year, I finally escaped from the house I was being held in and tortured, and became slightly more healthy. I continued to watch Mark as often as I could. Whenever I would have a spare minute, I would draw him and imagine him, and watch him on the computers at school. Why not at home, you say? Because I don't have a computer. I didn't. I'd hallucinated it. Much like my skeleton-like appearance I was so terrified of, I had hallucinated the computer as well. My brain had picked out something I'd glanced on at someone else's computer at school and used it to save me. Merely coincidence, people say. Counselors, therapists, family. It's just a coincidence. I don't believe it. Mark came into my life when I was literally on death's door, moments from dying. He slowed my heart rate, calmed me down, and I didn't bleed out. He lifted my spirits, and because of that I threw away the pills. He told me I was beautiful, and he helped restore a piece of my self-worth. I am alive because of Mark Edward Fischbach. He is my miracle, and I will be here for the rest of my life. I promised myself that day that I would never let go of the small ray of sun that broke into my mind that night and pulled me back from the edge of death, from the edge of myself. I would try my hardest to meet him, or even just contact him and let him know what he'd done. I intend to keep that promise. Mark, this is for you. This isn't a lie. It's not a joke. This actually happened to me. I still have the marks on my arms and the scars in my heart and my mind that will be there for the rest of my life. And I am alive because of you, because of who you are and what you do and what you mean. If you weren't here, I wouldn't be here either. So I just want to say thank you, because you saved my life. And that means a lot to me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.